First of all, where do you get goat and how do you cook it?
Those are great questions because while goat has been kind of trend spotted over the years, the next big thing, it has actually been hard to find it. I mean, it's not something that you see your local supermarket pushing on you. But Whole Foods is carrying it in some markets. They're expanding. You can ask butchers to get it. And you can go to ethnic markets. Most countries
other than ours have goat traditions. So if you went to a Mexican market or a halal market, you would find some pretty darn good goat.
Does goat have any health properties to it? I mean, like buffalo in particular. Is it as lean as buffalo?
Yeah, goat is very healthy. I mean, this is one of its big calling points. It has about a third fewer calories than beef. It has a very low saturated fat, half as much as chicken. But the thing is, it's really delicious. Proper goat that's young and tender and properly cooked is very, very delicious. Trust me.
And if you're going to cook it, I mean, and you're going to cook it at home, what would be the easiest way to start if you had to recommend one way?
Okay, well, the two things to do. Get really young goat. That's just absolutely important. It should be kid. In Spanish, it's called cabrito. In Italian, it'd be capreto. You want something young. You want something that was raised for meat, that's going to be young and tender, and that's like a baby and small. And once you get your hands on that, you can't really go wrong. But a great way to cook it is called moist roasting. And this is you put it in a pan that's open. You don't have a lid on it. And you have lots of flavorful liquid in the bottom, some kind of a stock, like chicken stock, maybe with rosemary and garlic. We have a recipe in the paper. And then you kind of baste as it roasts, and it comes out so delicious.
Now, do you think there's anybody who's going to they're going to shy away from the idea of eating goats, or do you think people think, well, goats are always eating everything anyway, now I'm going to get my revenge on the goat?
Well, I think Americans we have a hurdle to get over. It's just not part of our food culture. The funny thing is how common it is in almost every other culture. It's really a meat that is eaten. For Americans, it's a hurdle. You know, even just the name, it sounds like something that should be in a fairy tale where, you know, stubborn little goats are trying to cross over a bridge. It doesn't seem like something we should eat. You got to get past that. I think a great way to start is to go to a restaurant and order it. A lot of chefs think it's very trendy. They love it. They do great stuff with it. If you taste it and how good it can be at its very best, that could motivate you to give it a try.
Now, there's no way I'm going to eat the goats that are around my property because they eat weeds, right? If I'm bringing a goat to my house, that goat's going to work. There's no way I'm eating that goat.
Right. Okay. So this is the tough thing about goat. When you go into markets, you have to ask a lot of questions to the butcher to make sure that you're not getting basically a little janitor like what you're talking about, because those do end up in the meat supply. And some cultures don't mind that they're so tough. There's, you know, in Mexican markets, Mexicans have ways of cooking goat where
I got to stop you right here. Good stuff on goats. We'll read more about that tomorrow in the paper.